All right, we're going to make the box itself for our Special Days card organizer. You're going to find that you have, I believe, 6 different packages that will be the different components that you need for this box. We're going to start with packet number 1, which will contain our chipboard pieces, which give us the firm structure of the box itself. And then we're also going to have black linen cardstock that will be used to cover our chipboard pieces. Now, the first piece that we're going to cover is going to be the craft colored, and that's a 5.5 by 7.5 piece of chipboard, as you see on your cutting guide. And we need to put it down smoothly to this cardstock here. Now, you can use double stick adhesive sheets, or you can use the glue, whichever you're more comfortable with. I'm going to use glue in this case to make it very easy. And I'm going to just simply take my glue. This is full of art glitter glue, so you don't have to worry about a mess. I use the art glitter glue religiously on all my bookbinding. And I like using the double stick adhesive. I'll show you in a little bit how that works if you haven't ever tried it before. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's easy to use. I've got glue on the table there. All right, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it into the middle of my black linen, trying to get it centered. If you have spacers, you can certainly use that. I'm going to use my burnishing tool to press that down nice and smoothly. Okay. Now, this is the part that takes a little bit of time. I'm actually bending the chipboard over the linen cardstock so I can get a nice crease here without tearing the paper fibers. I do this quite a bit, and it makes it much easier. Make sure the glue's hardened a little bit. And it makes it much easier for that to fold over and give me a good crisp edge to my box. The more work you give it, the better you're going to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this over like this. I'm going to burnish it down nice and smooth. I'm going to go on the opposite side and burnish this down. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to press this down firmly here. Press this down firmly here. Okay, we've got a nice smooth bottom. I'm going to go now, open that up, and I'm going to do the opposite ends. I'm going to wrap these nicely over. Keeping this as nicely compact as I can. Close to those little edges there. Do the opposite side. And this is how you're going to cover every single piece of this chipboard that I've got in your packet. So I'm not going to be going through and wasting your time by doing every single one of them on camera. That would be silly. But I'll go through a couple or 3 of them so that you can actually see how they work. Now, I've got my corners have a nice little square in them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to miter these corners. I'm going to go over and up. I'm going to leave about a 1/16 of an inch to an 1/8 of an inch there so that I can make sure I have enough to cover the chipboard and not have it showing. Now, with it being black on the other pieces, it doesn't matter because your black chipboard won't show up very much if your cardstock is cut a little too close. So I'm just cutting these at an angle. And then I've got that ready. Now I'm going to take some tape or glue and bind these over. I'm going to use score tape. I like to use 3/8" score tape because it secures it nicely. And if I can find the end, I'm going to put it on the edge here. And I'm going to put it up here on this edge, right here. I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. Let me move some of this chipboard out of the way. Now, I apologize because black paper does not show up well on the camera, but it makes the prettiest of books and binding of any color of linen cardstock. So I'm real happy with black, and you'll see me use it quite a bit. There we go. And the last side here. This is the bottom base of the box, so I want to make sure it holds tightly. So I'm being very generous with my score tape. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to take my burnishing tool and firmly press that down. Okay, I'm going to pull all those tops off. Sorry for the interference of a text. Well, I pulled that right off of the chipboard, didn't I? Okay, that's not such a good thing to do. Try that again. I grabbed it too quick. May have just moved the camera a little bit. Let me turn it back around. Okay, now I'm going to take my glue again, and I'm going to run it down this edge here. Let me see if I can get it back in focus since I moved the camera. And I'm going to be generous with the glue. I want it to go in that crevice. Okay. And I'm going to take it now and I'm going to pull this over and press it down. Now, I have a habit of doing my long sides first. You may not want to do that, but that's the way I'm used to doing it. I like doing it that way. Okay, and then if you have a little extra, just wipe it off. Very good. Now we're going to switch around to this other side and do the same thing. Put our glue down through there. Fold this over tightly. Wipe off the excess glue. Very good. Now, before it dries completely, I'm going to go up on the ends and square that side down and square this side down. Now, let's do the same thing on the tops and the bottoms. If you have a little bit of extra paper showing here on that corner, you can take your thumbnail and push it in just a little bit before you wrap it down, and that will give you a nice bit here to where we can so where we can have a nice edge or corner. Okay, I'm gonna press that down now. Okay, I've got a little bit of tape showing, and I don't need to worry about that because this is going to be under the box itself. You won't even see any of this. Okay, get that nice and neat. Again, square up my edges. And now this is the bottom of my box. It's going to go underneath and my feet are going to attach to this. So that looks great. We've got it covered nicely. We can go on to the next one. We have, let's pull this out and see what we've got here. We've got 2 pieces of 6. I'm going to open this up a little bit so you can see more area. Okie doke. Now then. Okay, so you got 2 pieces of 6 by 6. Those are going to be covering your 5, I believe, your 5 by 5 pieces, just like this. So we have that one. We have this one here. So those we're going to cover. And notice that the border is only a 1/2 inch, whereas this one had a 1 inch border. These are going to be smaller with a 1/2 inch, which will work just great. Then we have 4 pieces of the 5 by 7, or 3 pieces of the 5 by 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to cover this with the black linen here. This one with the black linen. And I somehow ended up with some extra pieces there. And this one with the black linen, just like that. So we're going to be covering these, and I'm going to come right back in just a moment. So what I wanted to do was go ahead and quickly show you what we're working with here. This is the bottom piece I was telling you about. That's what we just completed, okay? That's this piece here. So it goes there. Then we're going to be covering this side and this side. See, this one's not covered here because that is the bottom of this. Now this piece is craft color, but we're going to be covering another piece and inserting it to cover this part up. Then we're going to be covering the 2 end pieces, and then we're going to construct, I'm going to show you inside, you can see hinges that will hinge it all together. So we'll do that as well. So I just wanted to show you the construction part of the box there as to how we're going to do it. So this one is going to come up later. Now I'm going to take double stick adhesive tape. I told you I would show you a neat way of actually covering these, and this is what I'm going to use. I sell this on my website. It's Elizabeth's double-sided adhesive tape. And what I do is I cut it to the size of the mat, or of the chipboard. That's going to be the finished size. This way I can quickly get these covered. And I'm going to show you how I do that. I use a scoreboard like this. Let me get it up in the corner here. I know it's sideways. That's good, because I'm going to take this and put it up in this corner. I'm going to peel off the backing, which is cut to the same size, 5 by 7. Okay, I'm peeling that off. And I'm going to very carefully hold this in place so it doesn't slide, and put the edge of that double stick tape sheet on here, then pull it down, burnish it, and then I have a perfectly sticky piece of chipboard, and I can now lay that on my cover. So this is the cover here, and I can get it lined up easier on my scoreboard, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to lay it down. And see, now I saved myself having to do all that gluing. Then I'm just going to simply work it again, like we did the other one. And the reason I use the black chipboard, which is a little more expensive, is because the inside of your box then doesn't have to be covered. So you save yourself a little bit of effort and time, which I really like that feature. That's why I love black linen and black chipboard. Okay, now that I've got that pretty much done, I'm going to go ahead and burnish this over good, making sure it's not going to break the fibers. Do that side. Then I'm going to do this side. Now, I have a 1/2 inch to play with here for this edge. Let me pull in. Okay, see there's a 1/2 inch here. So because of that, I'm going to use my tape, place it down before I miter those corners, because I need to make sure I have every little bit of it covered. Very good. Again, I'm going to press it down so it's nice and crisp. Okay, take my double stick tape, and this time I'm just going to put it all the way down that edge. I believe I'm using either 3/8 or maybe 5/8. I'm not sure which one I grabbed. Sorry. Looks like it's a 5/8. Now, there is absolutely no reason for me to put this on the chipboard, because when I pull this over, it's going to be the same thing. This is just going to go straight over, so I don't need to put any on the chipboard this time. Okay. Now I'm going to burnish that down good so that my tape stays permanently. Excellent. And now I'm going to trim and miter my corners. Again, I'm going to do that same thing. Go a little slower here so you can see it. Last one. See, now it's a much neater look on here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this off here, all the way around. Take my glue and run a dot down through the middle, between the chipboard and the tape there, so it'll hold nice and crisp on that edge. Again, take my burnishing tool, press that down. You can see I was not real careful when I bent my paper, because I've got some creases there that are kind of showing fibers. So I'm going to take it up and press it down nice and flat, because that glue will seal it down. And see, it makes a nice crisp edge. Okay, now let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Pull this over carefully there. Press it down. Okay, and again, crease down that edge there. Perfect, guys. It's looking great. Now do this one here. Try to go a little lighter on the glue here, because you don't want it to squeeze out much more. It's going to cover up that other part. There we go. There we are. Now, I have a little hair there that sticks out. That's not a worry for me, because I can take it and just clip, and you'll never see it again. Especially when you're doing black chipboard with black paper. Roll this over. Press it down. Outstanding. It is now complete. So this can be our side, the right side or the left side, or it can be that bottom piece that slips down inside the middle. So take a break from my video. Cover your other two 5x7 pieces. Okay, let me pull out. You need to cover these exactly like we just did this one. So go ahead and get that done, and I'll be right back. 3 of those. I'm going to do my last thing, which is my 5x5s. They're going to be put on the black, or the smooth side of the black chipboard. I'm going to get it straight, guys. Sorry. I'm using the smooth side of the black linen, and I'm going to put this down in place. If you don't have double stick adhesive sheets like this, you can use the glue. So just put it on your chipboard like this. Just I wanted to reinforce, you don't have to have the double stick tape. It just makes it really quick, easy, and it gives a very nice, clean finish. On books, I really emphasize using the double stick adhesive sheets. They are a godsend. They just make that front of the book cover look so smooth, so handsome. Okay, so there's that. I'm now going to fold this up. Same as I did my 5x7s, all the way around. And you're going to do 2 of these. One's going to be the front of your book, and one's going to be the back. So I'm going to fold this over. Me personally, it won't make any difference which one you use, because we're going to be covering the front and we're going to be covering the back, so you won't even be able to see them. You don't have to worry about it being absolutely perfect. So I just want to emphasize that. You don't have to be perfect with this, but it's nice to have it neat. Okay, let me get that one done. One more here. So again, I did the 3 5x7s, and I'm going to do 2 of the 5x5s, and I'm going to take my tape, once again, put it around the edges. If you don't have double stick tape, you can use glue. This is just faster, and it's a permanent seal, so I like using it. I am not against you using glue. I just like double stick tape much better for this. Again, burnish it down so it holds. Clip off those edges and miter them. Okay, pull off all the tape backings and add the glue in the crevice. And we're going to fold it over, press it down, and we'll have a nice front or back to our box. Isn't this going quickly? Okay. So we're still working with packet 1. And we'll move to packet 2 in just a few minutes. And the last one here. Outstanding. We've got it all done. Okay, so you've got 2 of these 5x5 pieces covered, 3 5x7s, and the 5.5 by 7.5, which is your base piece. So you've got all of that made, and we're going to construct the box next. Okay, now in packet 2, we're going to put all these pieces together that we covered. Okay, so we're going to show those right now. And in packet 2, you have a couple of things. You have a couple of long hinges and some short hinges. What the hinge amounts to is a piece of the black linen cardstock cut to 2x5 and then scored right down the middle on the 2-inch side by 1 inch. And these are actually going to be our hinges to hold it together. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to fold them and burnish them down. And if they're not perfectly straight, try to get them straight so that you have a nice crisp edge and it meets at the top here and here nice and smooth, okay? That's what you want. Now we're going to take our scissors and we're also going to cut a slight miter. Let me show you again. Let me get the camera to watch. Okay. I'm just going to take it and cut a slight miter. So I cut that much off of it so that I could have it be a little bit less square. This is what's going to hold on the inside of our box here. Can you see with the light? This is the hinge. It goes right across through there to hold your pieces together. So go through and fold these just like that. Cut a mitered corner up to the point there. Another mitered corner there. And do that with each one of the 5" by 2" hinges. And again, you should have 6 of those. I'm doing them on camera with you. And then we're going to do this 2 by 7 the same exact way. Okay. If your paper's not exactly cut to the measurement, don't worry about it. It's not going to show. For instance, this one may be off just a little. I'm not worried because it's going to show just fine on my box. And one more here. Good deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So now I'm going to do the last one here. The 2 by 7s, I got 2 of those. Again, the same exact thing. And see, this one isn't perfect. The score line was off a little bit. It's not a problem. It's off just a hair there. So I'm going to go ahead and clip that one and clip that one. Very good. Now, what I'm going to have you do, if you've got a cutting mat, that would be great because you can use the lines of your cutting mat to make this look really good and even. I'm trying to get my camera leveled for you. Sorry, I don't mean to make you dizzy, but I'm trying to get it completely level. We're going to take now, put this one aside for right now. Put one of these aside for right now. So that should leave you with 2 of these and 2 of these. That's what we're going to work with right this moment. So we're going to take, you can put that pocket piece away for right this minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scoreboard, or if you want to use your cutting mat to give you a straight line, that's fine too. Let me bring this in a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to take my linen side and put it down, okay, of my 5 by 7. I'm going to take one of my 5 by 5 pieces here, and I'm going to lay it side by side to my 5 by 7. Now, what we're going to be doing is gluing this hinge here to here so that when it folds, it will hinge those 2 pieces together, okay? Now, use glue. Don't use tape on this because if you make a mistake, you can adjust it and move it just a little bit. So I'm going to take my glue now, and you can use either side. I'm using the linen side on the outside down next to my board. So I'm going to place this one here, right up against the edge. right here on the edge of this, like so. And then I'm going to scoot this over. And I'm going to do the same thing there so that when I get finished, it should snuggle in nicely. So I'm going to put glue on this side now. Snug it together. Press it down. Burnish it. Don't put too much glue so it squirts out a lot. And now I have a side to my box. That's what the edge is going to look like. So I'm going to lay it back down so I can burnish it just a little bit more there. I don't want to strain it too much because I want it to dry nice and smooth. Okay? Now, I did one. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other two. So I'm going to scoot that one up. See? And then I'm going to lay these down just like this. And I'm going to take another one of those 2x5 hinges. I'm going to put the tape on one side. And I'm using the linen side. And I'm going to lay this down onto my board there. And I'm going to do it all the way to the edge. Sorry for my head in the picture. If I fold it back, you can see a little more clearly. There we go. Burnish that down. Fold this one over. Lay this down and place it over top of that one. And your edges should be lined up straight. Cool, huh? Now you've got one front and one back, and one front and one back made. See? And they'll square up beautifully when we get done. So that's what we're aiming. So now I'm going to, I've got it lined up correctly. I've got two 5x5s here, two 5x7s here. I'm going to take it and lay it down to where I have a 5x5 and a 5x7 together. Now, what do you think I'm going to do? Yep, I'm going to take another 2x5 hinge. I'm going to glue it. Sound effects are optional. Okay. I'm going to lay it down like this. We have one tricky one to go, but this is a good one to make it easy. Lay that down like this. Okay, very good. And then fold it over, put my glue here. Isn't this simple? You don't need to make this a hard project. Now, burnish all that down good. Outstanding. Now, I'm going to spread it out just a little here so you can see when I fold it up now, I've got a perfect box. Cool, huh? Now, I've got to get the hinge on here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to slide it down. I've opened it up. I'm going to slide down to this edge right here. Take another 2x5. Glue the flap like we've been doing. Did I run out of glue? I believe I did. Oh, how horrible. I've got to make it work one more time. Come on, just enough glue. I've got to get some more in there, sorry. Let me get some more glue. And you would think I would have all kinds of glues that work good. Not when you're on camera. Last try. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stick it down to this edge. Just like we've been doing. Okay. There we go. I've got it down level with that edge. It's nice and straight through there. I'm going to press it down good. And then I'm going to fold this over, put the glue on this side, and I'm going to lay this down on top of it. You weren't expecting that, were you? No. Isn't that simple? Press it down. When you raise it up, there's your box, ladies and gents. That's the shape. Is that not cool beans? I'm going to open it this way just a little bit so I can press down that last little bit of glue from the inside, because I want it to hold nicely. And that's our box shape. Ta-da! Now, we're going to be putting the last two 5x7 hinges on the bottom and inserting it in here, and then taking these long ones, two 5x5s on the ends and the two 5x7s on the sides. And that will help us with our bottom piece in a moment. So, how am I going to show this on the camera? Not a problem. We're going to take first our long edge here, and we're going to go ahead and glue the linen side of it. I'm now going to put it in my box here, and I'm gluing it right along that edge there. Now, let me explain why I'm doing this. Because when I get this anchored, I can take this away. That'll help. Okay, when I get these glued down, I'm going to show you. That's going to be the bottom that attaches to our bigger piece here, like this. Can you see now how that's going to work? That will glue down to the bottom. So right now, we're just gluing it to the side of this piece, leaving that free. We're going to glue all the side hinges on. Then we can go back, add the glue, and make sure it fits nice and squarely, okay? So I've got the first one on. I'm going to flip it over and do the other long one, same way. And I hit the camera again, sorry. I'm sorry, I don't mean to confuse you. I'm trying really hard to make this as simple as possible. Now, if you get that hinge higher than the edge, you'll have a problem with your bottom. It's got to be totally level. So make sure you lay it over and burnish that down on the inside so it securely holds to the bottom. And I do recommend glue here. And you can test it by laying it down to make sure it's nice and straight on the bottom there. So see, we've got two of those flaps done. Now we're going to take the two 5x2 pieces, and we're going to go in and we're going to put them right here. So I need to put it like this on the inside. See? So I'm going to put my glue on, and I'm going to have to show you that again because it's hard to get in your mind as to where to place it. I'm going to slide it up so you can see. I'm going to take that edge that has the glue, and I'm going to slide it inside, down in between the hinge on the side and that bottom, just like that. I'm going to press it down, making sure it's not too high. I can hold that down and then press it nice and firmly so I can get a good fit. Burnish it. Excellent. And see now, when these come up, this will come up too. See where we're going with this? And the last one, same thing. We're going to put the glue on it, and then we're going to slide it right down in there again, okay? So let's put the glue on there. And because I do this on camera, mine may not look exactly perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Okay, see how that goes? Just like that. Again, I say it for 5,000 times. Now I'm going to open it up and burnish that down so it will be nice and flat. I'm going to check this one over here, make sure I've got it nice and even. Everything looks really good. So you can see now I've got my hinges looking pretty daggone good, ready to go and be attached to this. Okay? Now, because this is just a little bit bigger, when we turn this over, you'll see it's got 1/4 of an inch on either side, so that when you anchor the box down, you have a nice little edge. You can see it there. Okay? So, let's do a dry fit to make sure we're good to go. Lay it on there. Very good. Shape it square. Turn it. If you aren't comfortable with it with one direction, turn it to the other so that it makes it absolutely perfect. Looks good to me. Okay, now once I get it like I want it, okay, I'm holding it down pretty firmly so that I can get an eyeball of where I'm going to put this. Okay, now, if you'll notice, you've got your short ones up here, and then you've got your long ones on the side here. We're going to do the long ones first. So go ahead and pull kind of flatten those end ones down as much as you can. I'm just kind of burnishing them down flat, see, so that I can work with my long ones. Okay, now I'm going to put my glue on my long edge here. I'm going to put my glue on the long edge there. I am going to go up to that crease, because I don't care if there's glue inside of that crease or not at this point. Now, I'm going to take this carefully, and I'm going to position it back down on my bottom in the center. Now, let me show you if I can. See, I've got like 1/4 of an inch on that side, and I've got 1/4 of an inch on that side, and on the front and the back. It's not quite straight, so I'm juggling it just a little bit so that those edges are nice and straight. Now I'm going to take my burnishing tool. I'm going to go down in and press down on that long side, not the short ones because they don't have any glue on them, and press down firmly. Oh, guys, that came out nice. Excellent. See, the box already holds. You don't have to worry. It's going to be firm and heavy. We got more work to do, but not much. All right, now, I don't have glue on those short sides, so I'm going to have to tilt it so you can see. And I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on, and then I'll show you on the camera. Because what I did, I lifted up my short hinge there, put the glue on it, then I'm pressing it down to the bottom, just like I did the long sides. It's just, this is the awkward piece because you've got to hold it up and put the glue from the inside of the box. Okay, glue's on it. Let me see if I can get it up there so you can see. That's hard to show you. And then I'm going to press it flat down. And then burnish that in place. Cool beans. We've got a box. This is the bottom, and this is going to be the top. Now, the next part, remember that other 5x7 piece that we had? We just simply, we've got it covered. It's the other 5x7. And all you do is drop it in there. Voila! Now it looks completely finished. Is that not awesome? I used that one for the bottom piece because I had a light smear there where I had glue. So, isn't that great, guys? You've got your whole box complete. I'm so excited. It looks great. It looks awesome. And now we'll be able to decorate it and finish it up. We've got to go, the last piece of the last piece of the box that was in packet 2 is this piece here. And this actually makes the pocket to go in the front of your box. So pick which side you think looks the prettiest and make it your front. I don't know. I think I like this one. Okay, so now take this. You see all the score lines? I want you to fold on those score lines, because the pocket you're going to make is going to hold your little address book. And it's got a little bit of depth to it so that when you start writing in it, you'll have enough room to secure your address book. So we've got this here and we got this here. Good deal. Excellent, excellent. I'm going to score those lines to make them nice and crisp. We'll make a quick little pocket here. Won't take us long at all. Now, one thing I didn't tell you was you want to fold those lines to where the black linen is going to be on the outside of that pocket. Okay, so this is the black linen side, and I should have folded them in the other way, so it doesn't really matter. I can bend them back. There we go. And here we go. And one last fold. There we go. Now we got to cut, because see, this will fold over and we're going to glue this piece down to the back, but we need to get rid of some of the bulk down here so that we can fold this piece up like this, and then this will come around. So what we need to do right now is we need to take it and we're going to cut straight up here and here to that second line. Can you see that? So I've got a wing there, okay? Because when I get ready to fold this up, then this can go over like this. Take this one down, and I simply put, I can get it to work. Hang on. There we go. Perfect. All right. Cut up like that, and then we got to cut this one off. Okay? So that's what you're going to cut. Let me do that again. We're going to do it over here. We're going to go here and here, and then we're going to turn and we're going to cut that one off. Okay? Now, we're going to take it. We're going to take this up, put it on the inside, and I'm going to take glue on this little double flap here. See? And I'm going to do it on the other side. Little flap here. And this is so cool. You just raise the bottom, pinch that down so that those little flaps are glued to the bottom of our pocket. See? Then you can take this one, miter it just a little bit, miter this one just a little bit. It will go up, and we're going to actually do nothing more than glue here, here, and here, and stick it inside the front of our box here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go glue, glue, and I'm going to glue this across through here. I'm going to lay my box down. You can't see it very well, so I'm going to show you if I can't. I got to lay it down though, guys. I can't hold it and place the pocket. And I'm making a mess otherwise. I'm going to get it down to the bottom of the box. There we go. And then I'm going to kind of pull it up just a little bit. Okay, so mine is about a 1/2 inch, a finger width from the bottom. I'm going to take my scissors and press all my wings down. Now, I got glue everywhere because I was trying to hold it up and do it. And I, of course, did not do a very good job of lining it up for you. But that's okay. I'm trying to get it to where you can see. See, I told you I didn't do a very good job of lining it up. There we go. Okay, so see my pocket there will hold my address book now. So I got my pocket inside the box, and we're ready to decorate our box. Now that we've finished the box shape, we're going to decorate the sides. And to do that, what we're going to do is take that beautiful paper that you got, the In My Craft Room collection, and you're going to use some of the papers from the 6x8 and from the 6x6 collection papers. You're going to need to cut out, and it's on your cutting guide, so you'll know what the measurements are. You need to cut the blue dots, which are 6 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you need to cut the pink gingham, which is 3 inches by 6 3/4. And then in your packet 3, you have several things. You have a trim, you have your mat for both sides, you have a black mat, and you have some borders pre-cut for you. Plus, you have a couple of pockets. So we're going to go ahead and assemble our side piece real quick and get that looking good. So we're going to start first with, let's take our mat like this. I'm going to decorate the mat and then attach it to the box because I think that'll be easier for you to see. So it's going to be a very simple, very quick process here because all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put my blue dots on the top, giving myself about, I don't know, about 1/16 of an inch border. Let me see if I can pull it in a little closer. I got glue on my finger, so it's not moving. All right. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to glue it on the bottom because that black border in the middle will cover up the seam. We can quickly do it like this. So we're going to go right exactly across through there. That one's just a hair longer, but that's okay. I'll scoot it back a little. There we go. Burnish that down. Take my black mat. It's a black linen, so I can glue the smooth side, have the pretty linen side out. And I'm going to put that wherever I like. It doesn't have to be in an exact position. I'm going to line it up with my dots so it looks nice and straight. That looks great. Just putting that on there like that. Now I'm going to take my white border. Your border may need to be trimmed. I have already trimmed these, so I don't have to do it. But you can trim them down if you like. They are linen on one side, smooth on the other. So put you some glue on that. Leave yourself a little bit of a border there, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That looks handsome. And then the blue trim, you're going to cut to size and glue it down. So let's see, I think I'll go ahead and place it like this and trim that right about there. Put my glue on there. Place that down. See if I look pretty straight there. I think I do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other one. Do the other side the same exact way. Glue down my polka dots. Dum-da-dum. Again, leaving my 1/16 of an inch edge around it. If you want more, cut it down. You get to make the final decisions on how you want everything. Trust me, I don't make the final decision, you do. If you want to flip the paper over or choose different papers, you can do that. Okay, I'll stick this one down. Now, I'm going to pull this one down a little bit more. Like that. Needs to come just a little bit more than that. There we go. That looks pretty even. Put my black, glue my smooth side. Have my pretty linen side. Again, kind of keep it where the other one is. So I'm going to use this one to go by so I can kind of measure to make sure they're about even. This one needs to come down a little bit. So, pretty even there and there. Good. Now, that's helpful. Then we're going to put down our scallop border again. Good, about the same distance as you did on the other side. That looks pretty daggone good right there. And then I'm going to put down my blue trim again. Trim that. I think I want the narrower end. It's not cut real straight there. I'm not worried about it because now I'll trim that again after I get it glued down. So I'm going to put some glue on that piece. Good. Pop that on there. Just a little bit of a wide edge there. Good. Outstanding. Then trim that. Perfect. Now, burnish it all down, and you can attach these to your side here. We're just going to glue them in place. All right. Pretty. Now I'm going to turn it over and press it on the other side from the inside. Okay. Looks great. I'm going to do this side, making sure I have it laid out correctly, and glue this one. Here we go. Same thing. Line it up. Get it nice and straight. Looks beautiful. Turn it over. Press from the inside. Now that gets our two sides. Let's go ahead and do our pocket piece. That looks great. We got that side and that side done. Now for our pocket pieces, you're going to take your pocket and you're going to select whatever paper you want to use to go up here on your pocket itself. Your pocket's going to fold up like this. Come on, go closer in again. There we go. And it's going to go like this. There's score lines. Can you see those score lines? Okay, that's what I'm folding. And I'm using the linen side on the short part of the pocket. So this is my linen piece here, because what we're going to be doing is covering the top pretty much, so you aren't going to see whether it's linen or not. So we're going to cut a piece of paper, whatever piece we'd like to have there, a printed piece to fit this. After I constructed the pocket, and I took the piece of designer paper that I chose that was 2 5/8 by 3 1/2. I rounded the top corners and I put it on the top smooth part of my pocket, and then folded up the bottom, put the tabs on there, and made a pocket. Then I took some of the ephemera, which came in your 60 die cut sheets, and I decorated by putting a piece of that on there. Then on the other side, you can see where I've gone ahead and done the same thing, lined my pocket, folded my little tabs in, glued them down, then folded the pocket, put the pocket on the box, put my ephemera on. Now, let's finish up this other side, and I apologize, the camera was on, but for some reason it wasn't recording. I'm going to put some of these die cuts on there. I think I want to put this time, maybe, how about some of the pretty threads this time? I think that would be nice. That one's a little big. I think I'll go with a smaller one, like ribbons. That looks good. And then maybe, I don't know, how about, I don't know which one I like best, guys. I hate decisions. This right here looks good. I'll put it on there. So I'm going to glue these in place. You can use the ephemera, again, to decorate anything you want. The inserts, the monthly sheets, whatever you prefer. And then you have a pack of embellishments so that you can go back and put the little pearl dots on here in a little while. We're going to finish this up before we add the embellishments. Now, to do our front and back mats, that's easy enough. What we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of the designer paper in the 6x6 and pick them out. On the front, you're going to need one that is 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, a little bit smaller. On the back, you're going to need a little larger one, 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Now, we have mats for those, so let's go ahead and get those out of the next packet, which is packet number 4. So, here we go. We're going to do the front and back of our box real quick. We have here a black mat, a pretty cool blue color, okay? And we have another black mat here. So this is going to lay like this. Isn't that pretty together? That is going to be the front of your box. You can see the black mat, the blue, and the black. On the back side, you just have a blue mat right onto the black edge of the box. So we're going to take this one. I'm going to put, it doesn't matter because it's not linen. It doesn't show up very much, so it doesn't make any difference which side you use. I'm going to glue this down to my blue. Good. Smooth it out. And Then I'm going to glue this onto here. Now that piece is linen. The larger piece is a linen black. I'm going to take and put this down onto the linen side. Center it. Anchor it down. There's glue all over my bone folder. Okay, now I've trimmed this down to 4.5 by 4.5. I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to make sure it's a good fit. I'm not happy with the way the black is. It's not perfectly straight. So let me see if I can still move it a little bit. I don't think I can, but I'll try. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to put this down. See if I can get it fairly straight there. Pretty good. Excellent. Now that's going to go on the front, and on the back I'm going to put this one. So I'm going to glue that down here. Good. All right, which end do I want for the front? It doesn't really matter. I'm going to make this, oh, the front's going to be where the pocket is. What am I thinking? So we need to put this piece here that has the pretty black mats and the turquoise looking mat onto the front. That's right. We've already decided that, didn't we? And I'm going to drop that down to where it fits snugly on the bottom and lines up with the sides, and it kind of covers any creases you might have. And then I'm going to press it down. It's going to come up just a little bit above your box. That's what you want. This is the front of your box, so you want it nice and neat. Beautiful. Now we're going to go around to the back and glue this one down. Kind of crowded myself here. Very good. We're going to lay this down here, right onto the edge here, just like we had it. Kind of straighten it up a little bit. I laid mine on a little crooked. Good. Press it down from the inside. We're right now through, guys. Okay, so we've got our box. This is our front, our sides, back, and the other side. Our pockets in there for us to do the address book, which we'll do next time. And we're going to take our embellishment pack and decorate on top of our box with it in the next one. Now we're going to make this pretty box really pretty. We're going to open up our packet that has all of our little embellishments, and we're going to pull these out and take a look at them. These half pearls, I should say, are actually going to be the feet, and the last thing we put on tonight. That way they can dry before we do anything else. These are going to be the implements that go on the front to complement it. And these are the pearls that we're going to use. So we're just going to simply take our side panel here, take our pearls, and put one right in the middle of each of these little scallops. I'm all fingers because I've got glue all over me. And we're just going to go through and make these look real pretty. It dresses it up a little bit. So I put 6 on each side. If you wish to put them in a different location, you can. Alrighty, that one's sticking to my finger. And then I'm going to put them on the other side as well. And they're adhesive back, so they should stay nicely. If you're in doubt as to whether it's going to be secure, you could always add a little bit of glue to it. I can see I didn't get this one in the center, did I? I did not. Wow. Sorry about that. And then the last one goes right there. Good. Press them down a little bit. Now on the front, which is this one here, we're going to take and add these pretty corners to the edges. If you have E6000 glue, it's made for jewelry making, and it will hold securely any metal. So I recommend the E6000 glue. I put a little bit right here in the center of that one, a little bit here, and a little bit there. It will dry clear, but I want it to be as flat as I can get it. They bend softly. They're soft metal, I should say, and they bend easily, so you have to be careful. Hold them down. Don't get the E6000 on your fingers if you can help it, because it truly does stay. It's good and permanent like a super glue. So let me hold that down for a moment. And it really complements the edge of your box. Now I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to straighten it out just a smidgen until it lays really pretty and flat. And I'm going to do the same thing. Put in my E6000 there. A little bit here. And a little bit there. Put that in this corner. It just frames it so pretty. And then I'm going to do the next one the same way. Let me lay it down so I can see if it's really good and flat. Nope, this edge comes up a little bit. And this one comes up. So I'm going to take it and add a little bit of glue there, here, and here. If you use the clear glue, it will work, but you have to leave it to dry overnight. This will dry rather quickly. And then I'm going to use one more dab of it. And did I lay it flat? No, I didn't, which means I need to push that one down. Beautiful. How does that look? Isn't that gorgeous? Now, that's going to need to dry. Then I'm going to turn it to its bottom. I'm going to take my little half pearl. These are large. I think it's 20 millimeter pearls. And I'm going to use the E6000 on it generously, maybe a little too generously on my finger, and put that in the corner, leaving just a little bit of space. Hang on, I got to get that off my finger before it dries. Sorry. Okay, and then I want to put another one. Another one. And the last one. And those are the feet to go under my box. Need to cap this right away because it will harden immediately. So I'm capping that up. Very good. Now I'm going to leave this to dry overnight, making sure my corners are nice and firm. And I've got my box complete. Isn't that great, guys? Aren't you impressed with yourself? Okay, so I'm going to let this dry overnight, and we'll get on to the next video.